Welcome to The Gorgeous Effect, the podcast that's about to rock your marketing world. I'm Julie Chanel, and with my co-founder, Cathy Olson, we're the masterminds behind Funnel Gorgeous and FG Funnels. We're about to drop some serious tea on how to create funnels that not only look amazing, but actually convert into customers. We'll chat mouth-watering offers, copy, design, and give you an inside look of some of our best and worst funnels. No smoke and mirrors, just real strategies that work from two ladies who have been around the funnel block. So grab your coffee or something stronger, we won't judge, and get ready to unleash the gorgeous effect on your business. It's time to show the world what you've got. Let's do this. Hey everyone, it's Julie and Cathy. We're back with another episode of The Gorgeous Effect. Today we're going underwater. We're going to go under the iceberg.
Glub, 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 glub.
So we were talking about how people make decisions about the kind of business they want, the kind of offers they want, the kind of containers they want, and they do it because they see somebody else doing it and they're like, oh, that's a cool business. I want that. And the problem, which we're going to kind of dive into, haha, no pun intended, or dive under, is that you're making a decision based on what you see like an iceberg out of the ocean. You're making a decision of like, I want a membership, or I want a mastermind, or I want this or that, because you're looking at what's above the water. But what you're not seeing is all the stuff below the water. And how might your decision making be different if you could get some scuba clothes on and go underneath and see what's really happening behind the scenes? How did you come up with this idea, Kath?
Yes. So, well, first of all, this is a problem that I think I had a lot when we first became business partners, is that I would see things, shiny things, and I'd be like, look what they're doing.
Things.
I would see shiny things under the water. And I'd be like, look what they're doing. They're doing this, this, and this. And you already had kind of a background of seeing into businesses, like especially even some of the ones that I was showing you. I was like, hey, look what so-and-so is doing. And you're like, yeah, actually that business is, like you saw beneath the surface. And so I think that was the first iteration of this. And I think ever since then, I really, I think about that every time. And you and I won't take an idea unless we know what's underneath the surface, as much as we possibly can. So you and I will do our due diligence to look through and say, okay, is this person actually making money? And we won't really do something unless we know that they are, or like what's all included, like what goes into that sausage, right? And so I think it's become sort of our business motto. But I think we just kind of do this on our own, and we don't really talk about it, and we don't really tell people. I'm sure you do in your private coaching and stuff, and digital insiders as well. But like from the out, we don't talk about it as much as I think we should, just because we don't really have time or energy or whatever. But I see it happening with lots of people. And recently I just saw like behind the scenes of two different types of things that I thought that I wanted, for like our business. And I got to see how the sausage was made, and it made me realize, wow, okay, I'm like not.
I don't want that sausage.
I'm not. I'm not. Okay, never mind. Basically, yeah, I'm not. Just kidding. Like I thought I wanted this, and I could say what one thing specifically was being like a content creator. Like I've gone to two separate things where I saw the behind the scenes of what goes into creating like really viral content, and I'm like, dang, like this is way more work than I realized. And I would have to give up our business in order to become a content creator. But then, you still learn things, but then you decide, well, it's going to look like this for me. So I think there's like a leveling out that you get, but then it's helpful because then I'm not going to keep, chasing that shiny object.
So I have like I actually have more than three, but the three like business models that I see people chase, I just want to like list them out and talk about them. And so the first is the low ticket mass volume, right? So the people who sell things that are not that expensive, and it's really attractive because you're like, oh, no pressure, $37 offer, 47. I just make offers and I sell them, but it's mass volume, right? So it's like you need a really big audience and you need a lot of traffic. And then the second is the high ticket, low volume model. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? I don't need a huge audience. I don't need to dance on social media. One client is worth 10K. Like, this is amazing. And then you have kind of a blended model where people are doing both, right? Where they have some high ticket items that are bringing in a lot of cash, but they also are kind of playing the low ticket traffic, build your platform game. And then there's all different types of like little like sub models in there, whether it's memberships, digital product shops, weekly paid workshops, challenges, events, certifications. And it's so easy to see what someone is doing and want it for yourself and not realize that what you have to give up, like the opportunity cost. Like you said, you went to this event, you saw this content creator, you realized how much work it was, and you realized what you'd have to sacrifice. Well, what people don't realize about the low ticket model is that you have to become basically a Facebook ad PhD. Like that is your game. It's engineering, it's stats, it's math, it's Facebook ads, right? That's what she's doing versus the high ticket, low volume is like all about relationships, like going to events and making connections and cold outreach DMs and nurturing relationships. Like that's what she's doing. And she's not having to dance on Instagram, but she's in the DMs talking to people one on one. And nobody sees that side. They just want whatever's shiny.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't help that people don't want to show that side, right? Like I
Right.
don't see people really showing what it looks like. I mean, every once in a while people will do, a little bit of like, hey, here's a day in the life, but like even that is like curated, right? So
Yeah.
it's like how does someone know the truth? How does someone look beneath the surface? How do
Yeah.
they scuba dive down below and
Great
see kind of
question.
what's going on?
Yeah. So I think there's a couple ways to scuba dive and go below the surface and really see. One, which I don't think people like this idea, but it's really effective, is to actually just try it. Because there's no faster teacher than failure and pain, right? And so you try a model and you realize, oh crap, that didn't work. I realize that's what I don't want. The problem, of course, is that can be expensive and time consuming, and you can go down a rabbit hole. Let's say of building a membership, realize that's not what you wanted at all. And, you've learned really valuable lessons, but the cost has been high. The second way is to hire someone who can help you, right? Hire someone who is really good at that model. And the person that you hire or the company that you work with or the brand that you associate with, needs to have a pattern of transparency. So if they are, it's too good to be true, right? If it sounds too good to be true, it is. That's a very tall tell sign that they are not telling you how the sausage is made. They're just telling you like how the sausage is packaged. And so you want to do your due diligence with brands and make sure that they're being really honest and they're not making outrageous claims.
I want to almost devil's advocate too to say that like just because sometimes you do see the behind the scenes and you get freaked out and you get kind of scared off, but I also want to just be careful to not to scare everybody from everything scary. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you see what it takes and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like that I feel so far from that." But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it either, right? So like because I was thinking about this about like if someone saw the back end of our funnels or even just the back end of like anything we do in a day, like our
Mhm.
team is like, right, when they see what our team kind of goes through in a day, they might be like, forget it, like, But there's something to be said that we didn't start there, right? We didn't like start it complicated from day one. We started with like one simple funnel and then another simple funnel, and then and we grew up to that. So it's really unfair to compare like John Acuff always says, not to compare your beginning to someone else's middle. And it's really
Yeah.
unfair for you to look at that iceberg underneath and go, oh, forget it. I'm so far away from that, and then talk yourself out of it. So
Yeah.
what would you say that people like, what's it like? How do you not get overwhelmed by what it looks like, but still try it? You know what I mean? How do you know when it's like, yes, no, forget it, that's not for me, or like, okay, that could be for me later, but like, what do I do? Like, I should start now.
Yeah. So there are a couple things I want you to do. If you are listening to this podcast, I want you to jot down these questions and answer them for yourself first because it's going to help you identify your values, right? So, number one, how much people interaction do you want in your business? Do you want, do you love people? You want to engage with them, or do you not want to talk to them at all? Which in that case, you should go into the business of animals. Number two, how do you feel about creating courses and content? Number three, how happy or sad are you dealing with customer service? Number four, how much do you love or hate done for you work? Like actually, I'll do it myself kind of thing. Number five, what number of sales do you think you can generate in a year with the way you are now, like in the audience size you are now? Um, I'm not going to give you all 10 because I think there's just a few more. Number six, like how much money do you have to get something out the door? Like what's your investment? Number seven, what is the mental bandwidth that you have right now? And number eight, how many hours per week? I want you to answer all of those questions because these are your values. So when you're looking, let's say you're looking at Funnel Gorgeous and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so far down the road. Like I can't get there from here. My recommendation is you go back to the beginning. And this is why it's so valuable when mentors and coaches go back to the beginning. And I just have to stop for a second and say that's why I'm writing my book because I like want to go back to the beginning. Like, what did I do at the beginning? So you go back, whoever you're following, you go back to the beginning, you look at what they did. You ask yourself, can I do what they did at the beginning based on my values? And if the answer is yes, then that's where you start because you're not, and Rome wasn't built in a day. And you're going to be a lot farther along if you start today than not. And if you go back to the beginning of a guru and you're like, man, I don't want to do that, like that's not in alignment with those values, then you got to find a different, vision.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And I think that for me, when I'm looking at things, if they're for me or not, I don't get scared if they're hard. I'm not afraid of learning, right? I'm not afraid of like
Yep.
rolling my sleeves up because that's not a reason for me. But it's like, but yeah, I think there are certain the core things that like I know even if I were to learn it, I wouldn't want to do it. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of where that's my right. Like I think about like this all the time when I'm talking to my kids about like math. And I'm like, yes, I through math, like yes, I even took like pre-calculus, it was the
Yep.
hardest class I've ever taken, right? But like, so yes, I can get through it. Is this something I'm going to want to do in the future? No, like hell no. I'm never going to use this. I'm not going to like, so can I do it versus do I want to do it? And
Yeah.
but something being hard is not a reason because if I do want to do it, if I see that the end result, I see the full iceberg and I say I would love to be that someday, then it's worth getting through all the hard stuff, which I think is really what you just said is about having those core things that really mean something to you. And like, does this actually look like that? So for my example on the content creator, do I want to have, 200,000 followers? Yeah, maybe, whatever, but only as far as it would be to grow our business. So it's not like really what I want, right? So then it's
Right.
like, okay, well, then that's not really worth it to me to get a result that I never was wanting in the first place, right? Like, because for
Right.
me, it's a totally different reason. I don't want brand deals. I don't want affiliates. So like, why would I build a business that looks like that? So I think if you focus on the goals in mind, like you said, with all those questions and kind of focusing on that, that's going to like be your gut check to know, okay, yes, this is worth it. Worth doing the hard stuff because the end is what I want my end to look like.
Yeah. I've often said, I see these big names talking about making, 15, 20, 25 million a year. And when I go underneath the hood, it's usually high ticket sales and it's usually a sales team and it's usually, even like a call center.
Yeah.
And
Big old
there
team.
is there's not any money in the world you could wave in front of my face that would say, let's set up a sales team in a call center. Like,
True. And so, but like, and it's also like, why, right? Because, okay, cool. Like, you think about what your life would be like with 20 million. Like, do you really need 20 million? Probably not, right?
no.
Like, unless you're like trying to, I don't even know. Honestly, I'm like, unless you're trying to be like Elon Musk or something, I don't know, like, why? But also, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
like what
what
are
do
your
you need?
goals?
Would that be worth you turning into like taking everything you love from your business and turning into you running a team because that's what it looks like, you becoming a boss and like a manager? Is that what you wanted to do with your life? Hiring, firing, making hard decisions just so that you can get what? Like, it's probably not in you're probably not interested. So it's like, so why
Yeah,
are
and
you
but what's funny is you're being like managing people, hiring, firing. That's actually not the part that scares me, right? So like this is just a difference in values. I actually don't mind managing people and I don't mind that aspect of it. For me, it's the pressure of a high ticket sales and that risky business model. That's why I don't like it. But yeah, I mean, a 20-person sales team doesn't sound super fun either. I think
Well, yeah, it's
it's
like teams under teams under teams under team.
yeah, exactly.
I don't want to be like I guess that's what I meant is I don't want to be that separated from our team because we do have a team, right? But I don't want to
Yeah.
be so separated from a team that like a team member has to talk to a team and a team and a team and like you never even talk to me. Like that's like my little, extroverted part of me makes me sad. Like that I would never like
Yeah.
connect with everybody. So I guess there's different reasons. And of course, this is your Enneagram 6, but the safety coming out like
Yeah. I'm
of like
like,
that sounds
yeah,
like a
I'm good.
scary business to run that could come crashing down at any minute. That's like a totally different fear. But either way, whatever you're getting triggered by, it's worth
Right.
thinking about is whatever you wanted the, 15 million, 10 million, whatever, like whatever you were going to do with that money, is it worth being what it looks like? But again, you'd have to see behind the scenes. And so I think it's really important to know what you're giving up for that goal.
Yeah. And so certain business models have like lower profit margins and some have higher profit margins. So again, if you're looking at the iceberg and you're like, wow, what it would be like to make $100,000 a month, that would be amazing. Well, yeah, like, okay, cool. But like certain business models, $100,000 a month is netting you 50,000 in profit. And certain business models, $100,000 a month is netting you 10,000 in
This
profit.
is why I love Shark Tank so much. Because, right? Like when you're growing up, and I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but when I was growing up, I always thought inventing a product would be the coolest thing that a human could do. Like, period, right? And like I remember in school, like we actually had a thing where we had to invent something. It was a whole project that we did, like in my elementary school. And I remember thinking that would be so cool to invent something. And then I see these Shark Tank episodes and I'm hearing their like profit margins and stuff, and I'm like, never in a million freaking years. And I'm looking at my like my daughter and going, do you know like how we make way more than that? Like from digital products, and we don't have any of those headaches. And I'm just like, no, no thanks. But not to hurt anyone's feelings, it's ecom. But you guys already know, you guys already know
Well,
what you have to deal with.
but I think that's the thing. Like, if there was a product that I wanted to make because let's say I had a problem in life and like this problem, like this solution, like actually made my life better, I'd probably push through all of the under the iceberg stuff because it would be mission based, right? Like, I need
Right,
to get this into the hands of as many people as possible because this, whatever, like this security camera saved my life or something, and then
right,
I'm
right.
like willing to go the distance, right?
You're
But if
willing
you're
to take
just
the 90%,
exactly because you have a
expenses.
mission and
Yeah.
but if you're just looking at like, ooh, that business looks cool because it makes a lot of money, every single business model has an iceberg underneath the surface that you're not seeing. And the goal is to find people who are as transparent as possible who can tell you, yeah, this is really cool. And these are the things that these are the obstacles that you're going to come up against. This is the stuff you're going to have to do day in and day out. And I think that just will go a long way in helping people not get stuck in business models that they end up hating.
100%. Or even just, using this on a micro level of like a tactic or a type of funnel to launch or something like that. Thinking of using this, what we've talked about today, to make any decision on should I shift, should I do this, should I try this, even if it's like on a micro level.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, well, if you guys are thinking about launching an offer, thinking about a certain business model, do a little due diligence. The nice thing about Funnel Gorgeous and our teaching is that we've done almost every business model or offer container that you can come up with, right? We've done low ticket, we've done mid ticket, we've done high ticket. I personally do high ticket one-on-one. We've done subscriptions. We've done for you work. We've done productized services. We've done weekly paid workshops. We've done certifications, challenges, and events. and summits.
That's a lot to remember off the top of your head. I don't think I
There
would have been
is
able
a
to do that.
lot.
Nice job.
So
We're running out of things at this point, but somehow then new things keep happening, and then we thought, oh, we haven't done that one before. So yeah,
we're going to do a book funnel too. If I could just get my manuscript done, we're going to do a book funnel.
Yep.
But we have a lot of knowledge. Like we've worked with a lot of people, we've done a lot of different types, and that has been, part of our motto to try to help people like understand really what goes on behind the scenes when you choose a particular funnel, particular offer, particular business model. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging with us. And Cathy, thanks for the idea. I think this was a good chat. All right. Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We're just getting started with this podcast, and we're so excited to have you on this journey with us. If you found value in today's episode, we'd be over the moon if you'd consider subscribing. It's like a virtual high five that keeps us going. And hey, if you're feeling extra gorgeous, leaving a review would mean the world to us. Your words not only make our day, but it also helps other amazing folks just like you find our show through your review. Lastly, if you know someone who could use a little sales pep talk, why not spread the love? Share this episode and let's grow this gorgeous community together.